A lot of people think affirmations or manifestation are just a placebo, like some kind of psychological comfort with no real effect. But honestly, repetition really does change the brain. Back in 1949, psychologist Donald Hebb introduced a theory that later became one of the foundations of neuroscience. Neurons that fire together, wire together. And years later, a famous neuroscience study on London taxi drivers helped prove this idea. Researchers found that taxi drivers who spent years memorizing the city's complicated streets actually developed physical changes in the parts of the brain connected to memory and navigation. In other words, repeated mental activity strengthens certain neural pathways over time. By the way, if I'm new here, I'm Clara. I talk about manifestation, mindset, and help you become the version of yourself that naturally attracts the life you want. And personally, I think this is where manifestation becomes really interesting, because affirmations are not a form of magic. What they actually do is repetition. Your brain is constantly adapting to the thoughts you repeat, the things you focus on, and the beliefs you reinforce emotionally. Your current self-concept was built the same way too. It comes from the thoughts you repeated consciously or unconsciously, the narratives you told yourself daily, and the beliefs you practiced for years without even realizing it. Over time, your brain accepts these thought patterns as normal, and once something feels normal, you start acting from it automatically. That's why robotic affirming can actually work really well for some people, not because one affirmation magically changes your life overnight, but because repetition slowly changes your dominant assumptions, your attention, your behavior, and eventually your decisions. You start noticing different opportunities, you react differently to situations, you hesitate less, your desired reality starts feeling more familiar instead of impossible, and over time, that changes the direction of your life. This is also why consistency matters more than intensity. A lot of people think manifestation only works when you feel high vibration all the time, but the brain changes more through repetition than temporary emotional peaks. And honestly, this idea is what inspired me to build a free app called Manifestly. One of the features is called affirmation. It's not random motivational quotes or generic I am statements. It's basically a mechanical affirming tool. You enter your desired reality, and every time you affirm it, you tap the button and track the repetition, almost like training your brain through consistent focus and repetition. If you want to try it, the link is below. And if affirmations have ever changed the way you think, feel, or act, I'd genuinely love to hear your experience in the comments. Thank you.